Good day, my name is Doug and I am playing a game called the Crust, and this is the challenge of running in the betas. So I guess this is going to be beta 2-1 or beta base 2-1. They just did release an update, so we've gone from 99.45 to 99.48, and that means a new game. So we need to restart this. So for some of you this is going to be boring. For others of you this will be a new look at the game. I apologize if this is boring for you, but kinda have to go with it. You get real good at the early game if you pay attention. Of course, if you are like me and just do things by habit, then not so good. But we'll get this thing going again. Now, to be clear, I am in the beta, or on a beta, and not the stable game. So we may come across errors. I do report them. We may have bugs, things that break the game. Again, I do report them. But I really enjoy this game, and I think it's...
broadcast. We have detected an imminent asteroid collision with the moon's surface. We are currently assessing the extent of the damage and the number of casualties. At this moment, our teams are working tirelessly to restore communication with lunar outposts. For those still on the moon, be aware that we are mobilizing all available resources to assist you. Conserve your energy and ration your supplies until further notice. Additional information will be provided as the situation unfolds. Stay tuned for updates. Over and out.
I repeat, Crust has declared a state of emergency of the first degree. Commercial shipments and cargo landings are prohibited. All complexes, resources, and facilities on the moon are now under Crust control. All remaining facilities should switch to emergency frequency and report their status. Conserve energy and resources, and await further instructions.
What's happening? Director, can you hear me? We're receiving reports that a meteorite collided with the moon and the state of emergency has been declared. Director, confirm you're on the line right now. You could have done it more quickly and spared me the worry. Director, there's still no signal from the personnel of the base. I'll try again, but my hope is dwindling. Robert, come in. Robert, do you copy? Robert, damn it, come in. There appear to be no survivors. I'm glad you were on the orbital station when the collision happened. I suggest you stay there as long as possible. We should try to hold out until logistics with Earth are restored. Start with electricity. We still have resources and functional drones. That should be enough for a few solar panels and batteries.
Okay, so... let's go ahead and get the solar panels and batteries in place. Wire them together.
By the seismic activity, the meteorite impact occurred on the far side of the moon. We're lucky it happened so far away from our mission, but the strength of the blast wave raises a lot of questions.
Oh, excuse me.
Is that all the head of the research department can say? Somewhere far away there was an explosion and we don't know the cause?
Scientists are working.
Whoops, sorry about that.
We have electricity, but our resource reserves are almost depleted. We need to restore production as soon as possible. Let's start with repairing the elevator to gain access to the underground level.
Which I just did.
Then build a charging station for the drones. Make sure that elevator and charging station are connected to the power network.
Again, which I just did.
The explosion destroyed everything on the surface, but there may still be mining modules underground. We need to go down and see what we have left.
Objective achieved.
Director, we need to reconnect the power supply to the underground level. Connect the elevator and electrical pole with wires so we can see the scale of the damages. That's better. I see that we have a module to produce smart concrete, but we have an urgent need to resume production of steel and silicone. Director, I have an idea. First, convert 5 drones into miners, and we'll proceed.
Okay.
The drone reconfiguration module allows up to 5 drones to be converted into mining drones and vice versa.
We have smelting furnaces, but to start producing any resource, the relevant oxides are always needed. We will now mine them with the mining drones. Director, we have access to iron and silicone veins. Assign drones to mine the resources from the veins to supply the processing modules with raw materials.
Enter excavation mode.
Oops, sorry about that. I sometimes cut off stuff I've heard before because I'm stupid. Okay.
Now watch mining drones extract.
Objective achieved.
Sorry. That was my fault. Now what I'm doing right now is basically carving out my working area, and I'm doing it this way so that the drones don't get trapped behind walls and have to go really far around to deliver ore. And it's silly, I know, but it's what I'm doing. I am a little OCD on this stuff. I want this to be a big square area. And that may be silly in a lot of ways, but it is how I play the game. Okay. Back up to here. And we do the same down this wall. Now, one thing about setting up these orders, the drones do basically go essentially as in order that they've been directed to go in.
Director, you can never have too much smart concrete, so it's worth spending time to produce it. For this purpose, we have a pressing module, which may not be the most efficient way, but it's good enough to start with.
Thank you, Ratchet.
The pressing module requires only regolith, which is a type of lunar dirt plentiful here. Assign mining drones to the evacuations, so that we have the resources we need. Free drones will deliver the regolith to production themselves.
Director, we're getting word of supply shortages from almost everywhere on Earth. The explosion cut off most of the supply channels from the moon. Millions of people are in need of resources, and we can satisfy that demand. Supplies used to run through the contract system, but it came to a complete halt after the explosion. We might be able to fix that.
You can adjust the game speed by selecting the desired speed using the interface or the hotkeys 1, 2, 3. This feature can help speed up the building process. Alternatively, you can pause the game to plan your future base at a relaxed pace.
Okay.
Objective achieved.
Well, that's a start. There should be enough smart concrete for the first time.
I never use the center one. It's just in the way. A Crust representative is attempting to contact us. The company solely owns the space elevator. Such people cannot be refused. The space elevator, just so you know, is from Earth's surface to Earth orbit, not having anything to do with the moon. Director, my name is Clive Draper. I represent the interests of Crust. We are engaged in studying the study of surviving bases, and your facility stands out for its potential. It is in our mutual interest to restore resource extraction and production as soon as possible. We are ready to provide you with scientific resources, but in return, we expect your support when the time comes. When it will be needed. It's amusing how confidently Clyde speaks about our future collaboration.
Well, let's not waste any time. Professor, you prepared a research plan before starting the expedition, didn't you?
Absolutely. First, we need to increase production. We have smelting furnaces, but we need extractors and refineries to extract the oxides. Director, Crust has handed us the research plan, and we're ready to begin. Research underground mining and place 2 extractors on the iron and silicon veins.
During the early game, time is kind of precious, so I do pause it when we go into research. So, I just happen to know the order I like to do this in, and those will be my first 4 research projects. Unpause. Does seem to be a bit of a delay here on we will have to see. This red material here is hard rock. We have to research on how to drill that. we coming now? Not much time left. .4 day. Day-o. Oh, it's paused, no wonder. Okay.
Research complete.
Throw it on pause. Take a look at what's complete, which is the extractor. Go to the researches. Let's go ahead and get that running. Unpause. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove the guys from that because we're going to put extractors there.
Don't forget that extractors need electricity. Hold down shift to build a chain of utility poles.
Now, one thing you have to be aware of is that you cannot put utility poles right next to the walls. They have to be at least one space out.
Objective achieved.
I see. The data that the extractors have started mining. Now, finish the research and build 2 regolith refineries for producing iron and silicon, respectively.
Okay, but we look like we're going to have an energy shortage, so we're going to go back up to the surface and put down some more solar panels, which hopefully we make it through the night on. Now, one of the things you need to be aware of is when you are building infrastructure, everything costs you.
Director, place the regolith refineries similarly
These
to optimize future production.
cost me in resources, and obviously also the labor of my drones. However, it's the wires and the conveyors, when we get conveyors, they cost money. Let's see what we have for research here. The single regolith refinery. Okay. Now this is something I forget almost every game, but it's important. The refinery doesn't have to be a long way from the extractor. And I can move the smelter to the refinery, which actually makes more sense. And this, as infrastructure, doesn't cost me in money, but it does cost me in resources. And we cannot put these things next to a wall. So I'm going to have this one like this.
Single regolith refinery extracts the necessary oxides from the regolith by thermal treatment. The process leaves slag that can also be used in production.
Steel. Whoops, I screwed up. That should be the regolith refinery, not the smelter. Don't go too fast, Doug. Just get it done. Okay. Now, as soon as they get built, everything should be copacetic. Do remember is that we need to have more smart concrete. I'll make this one a priority just so it gets things on quicker. Okay, 13 days,
Research complete.
but we've only, oops. Oh, we have plenty of power. Lasts for 25 days. Research complete. Let's go ahead and pause. And we have conveyors now. Okay. Now, one thing you do need to know is once you've installed a conveyor, the drones will no longer take resources to that particular item. It can be fed either by conveyors or they can be fed by drones, but not by both. Okay, and let's go ahead and start the game again.
Objective achieved.
A single regolith refinery is a mono-refinery that can only...
Objective achieved.
Yes, okay. And they...
Director, a conveyor belt will speed up production and eliminate the need for drones in resource delivery. I advise you to keep an eye on this technology.
You heard him, Director. Now we have a steel production chain, but we can increase its efficiency by connecting the modules with conveyor belts. It will reduce the load for drones and speed up production. Exactly what we need right now.
Objective achieved.
which is why I've set it up.
Use the conveyor tool and connect the extractor to the refinery and smelting furnace. This way, the resource-rich regolith will go into the refinery without needing to engage drones. Optimization at its best.
Now, one important thing to note is that we get science points for specific time periods.
Crust's tasks require significant resource investment, which means we need to seriously expand our manufacturing capabilities. Let's start producing components. We need titanium to manufacture parts. Find titanium deposits among the regolith using an ore detector to seriously expand our manufacturing capabilities. Let's start producing components.
Now, one thing you need to realize when you have a question or a exclamation mark up here, that means we are wasting science points, and since we only get them for specific periods of time, we do not want to do that. So, let's go to social and put in some social. There we go. And we're only going to have that for another day and a half. And it goes down to that. Okay. Blue isn't going to be there that long. So let's go and pick blue. Whoops. While we do want that, and I know we're going to need it, I also know we're going to need a landing platform. So we'll go with that. Now, I can build an ore detector. Or can I? No, apparently I cannot. A day. I'm a day short. No, a day late and $1 short. There we go. Okay. Here you can see drones delivering resources to this. That's because there's no input, just an output. And speaking of outputs, let's go ahead and connect that to that.
Research complete.
Now, as you can see, the input here is going up faster than it's going out. So, when you're setting up conveyors, you need to remember that they will go in the direction that you set them. So you need to set them in that order. I know I didn't explain that very well. And you always need to remember you need to set the recipe.
Director, our energy reserves are almost at zero. The moon has a long day-night cycle. Make sure we have enough solar panels to charge the
Oh,
batteries
we're going to
during
be
the
very
solar
short.
phase. In the event of an urgent power shortage, modules with low priority are the first to be disconnected from the network. You can manually disable modules that are not needed at the moment to optimize consumption.
Okay, let's go ahead and shut that off. Shut that off. Shut that off. And that gets us up to 1.8 days. Guess we will shut that off too. Two and a half days. Shut that off. Basically shutting almost everything off right now. Just to keep us from running out of power. Six and a half days. We're not going to make it. Shut that off. Here we go. And you'll have to excuse me for a minute. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, we are at 26 days worth of power, so let's see what we can turn back on. And we're still at 26 days. Now we're at 6.6. We'll just about make it. Research complete. Let's pause things for a second and take a look at that. That's access to the tender system. Social online market. Unpause. And our miners are done. Can't have them being bored now, can we? Okay. Oops, wrong key. Keeps it busy for a while. Four and a half days, 4.3 days. It's going to be close. Let's go ahead and bump it up to speed 3 and just let things roll for a bit. See what happens. 14 concrete, 17 steel. And if we come up here, we add, okay. Holding the shift down lets you add more.
Director, our operation requires a colossal amount of funds. The budget is stretched to its limits, and there are no new investments in sight. We need to come up with something urgently.
Oh no, what shall we do? Who will be our savior?
I have a solution to our problems, Director. We can establish trade with other organizations on the moon. This way, surplus resources are converted into money, which we currently lack. To send resources, we need a landing platform. And to access the market, we need to research the online market.
This is why you get paid the big bucks, Ledger. Great idea. Director, let's get started immediately. Research and construction will take some time.
Which I've already started. And there goes the power. But here comes the sun. Just in time. I remind you that it is not necessary to assign repair tasks to drones manually. To activate the automatic repair functionality, conduct the corresponding research in the fundamentals section, which I have done. Okay, back underground.
Complete.
Halfway there, but we still need the landing platform.
Let's get things
Sooner we
turned
finish
back
building
on.
it, the sooner we can make money.
I'm wasting science points, so I definitely need to hurry. Let's pause this and go take a look at the research. Okay, need green. So, gonna do that, then that. Unpause. There we go. Okay. Just because I know I'm not going to need this right now. And I'm going to need to move that. So we will stick that over there. Okay, and remove that. And that to there, that to there. Now, these guys are going to fill up. It's just that I already has 17 of 32. So we're going to go ahead and put in storage. Tell the storage what resource we're going to put in there. And then set a conveyor to bring it down. Same with this. Set storage. Assign it to a resource.
Research complete.
I need to go look at that, don't I? Build all. Let's pause it. Research complete. And that's for the ice extractor, which is that. That will be done in less than 2 days. So let's go ahead and get the hard rock mining done. Then cancel. Okay. And then finally, if we're going to do it to 2, we might as well do it to 3. Silicon. Oops. We still pause. Unpause. Now you can see by the backup that this obviously is not keeping up with production. So we'll throw another smelting furnace in there. Production is going to be steel
Research complete.
and power. Okay, let's see what research we have done. The smelting furnace upgrade, which is good. It's expensive. We're not going to do it quite yet, but it's available now. So we have blue and orange. We need green. Okay. Module needs repair. Let's go ahead and do that. Module needs repair. Go ahead and do that. It's important that you keep the repair materials in stock, or it's bad. Okay, it's night. It's going to be 10 days, 11 days until dawn, and we have power for 8.5 or almost 9. These things take a tremendous amount of power, so we will go ahead and shut one of them down, and now we're good for 9.6. Okay, shut the other one down as well. And we're good for 10 days. We do have a fair amount of those in stock though. So we didn't quite, looks like we didn't quite get to 100% on the batteries. Module needs repair. Let's fix that. So we will add some more solar panels. And just to be safe, I think we will add some batteries.
You can't build here. Research complete.
Module needs repair. Let's pause this. Research complete. And I have the ice melter. I'm going to need walls as well. Or the electronic board, I already have the walls. So that keeps the green going. And then beyond that, we'll need to get that done as well. Okay. And we go ahead and pause.
Research complete.
And pause it again. Research complete. The automatic repair is done. Yay. Which has several blue, so let's see, that'll be 10 days. That'll be 6 days. It is going to be green that's next. Actually, no, I can't say that. Looks like it's going to be orange that's next. We'll go ahead and knock that off. And then, just because I know we need to get it done, we will go ahead and build the ore detector. And we'll place it right there to begin with. Oh, X. That's not good. There we go. And then pause.
Objective achieved.
Now we're not going to use it.
To connect it to the network. The ore detector uses battery power to run the scans. The further the scanning area is, the more power it requires. Select the finished ore detector and scan the regolith around it. You need to find the nearest deposits to install extractors on them. Important, using the detector consumes battery charge. The larger the scanning area, the more battery charge is consumed. Remember this, and don't leave your base without electricity. Director, I consider it my duty to remind you that lunar research is divided into 3 main fields: fundamental, engineering, and social. Each laboratory is capable of conducting independent research, but studying certain technologies may require the cooperation of multiple fields. All available research is grouped into 3 main directions: fundamental, engineering, and social. Fundamental research is responsible for logistics and communication with other organizations, as well as drone improvements. Engineering research helps develop mining and production. Social research ensures that colonists at the base live and work comfortably. Some research requires multiple types of science points at once. You can assign tasks in different sections, and then the research plan will be conducted in parallel. The speed of research depends on your science points income. You can always rearrange your research to actualize the priorities for your current goals.
Research complete.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Pause it. That was a mistake. Oh well. Okay, that's going to be 14 days. He's probably going to be about 10 days. He's easily going to be about 20, 25. So, green then blue. Green. Let's go ahead and get beds researched. Oh wait, no. Oxygen systems, let's get that researched. And then blue. We're definitely going to need the repeater, but before that, let's get the drone upgrade. Okay. Oh, huh. Forgot to set this guy up with an output. There we go. I have a better idea. So this one goes there. This one goes there. Okay, that way we don't get any jams. Okay. There's something to do. Huh, I don't know why they haven't tackled that, but that's okay. We'll give them something to do. Nope, don't know why it won't go past that. Okay. Yep. That will keep them busy. Let's go above ground, see if I can do a landing platform yet. Here's my landing platform. I'll put it right there. Turn these guys back on.
Everything is ready for trading. To sell your surplus resources, go to the online market section of the control center.
Okay, we're at 167.
Now select market at the top of the screen. You can not only sell missing resource. If you select an available resource on the left side of the screen, you'll see the fluctuations and its cost on the right side. To send a resource for sale, select the appropriate option in the bottom right corner of the screen. Director, you should carefully monitor supply and demand. The more resources of a specific type you put on the market, the lower their price will be.
Okay. They are keeping up with demand. Okay. So, it's about midday. We have plenty of power. Let's go to town. There's water up there. That's a good thing to find. Nothing over there. It looks like my people will be on top this game.
Objective achieved.
Titanium, that solves that problem, and I get research for
Great
it.
job. Now build a components factory and supply it with titanium and steel. I'm sure, Director, this will be an easy task for you.
Okay.
Director, here's the latest news regarding contracts. To resume shipments to Earth, we'll need to restore communication and significantly expand production. If we manage this in the near term, I'll negotiate an extremely lucrative contract with the aerospace company FASM. They've lost their supplier and are willing to pay generously for an urgent order. I'm still looking into the matter, but be prepared to devote all resources to this effort if you want to maximize the benefits. I'll return as soon as new information becomes available.
Okay. And more water down there. I'm still doing good on power, so we will dig these guys out.
Research complete.
I definitely need to hit the titanium first, so pause things, take a look at the research. Oxygen systems, that's good. Okay, blue is almost done there. That's going to be 19 days. He's at about 12 days now, I would guess. 12.4. And he's at 7.2. So definitely green next. Unpause.
Research complete.
And pause again. Hard rock drilling. Finally. Okay, I thought that was already done, but you know, one makes mistakes. There we are. Okay. He's at 19 days. He's at 6 days. And then we've got that, which is going to be, yeah, it's green. Green, green. My world is green. Colonist. Okay, unpause. Let the hard rock drilling go on. Okay. Well, it's been about an hour, so it's time to call this game for the day. Let me throw a pause on there. I thank you all for joining or watching later. If you like what I'm doing, please leave a like. If you have any comments to make, please, I take constructive criticism, just be nice. And if you enjoy the game, I highly suggest you go out and get it for yourself. This is a very enjoyable game. So, I will end it here, and we will be back in a bit and continue on with the Crust. Have a nice day.